Welcome back, chess fans, to an unbelievable finish to Week 2 of the United States Chess League. This is FM Mike Klein reporting. The week was filled with superlatives as all 16 games produced a winner, perhaps a first in the history of the league. We also had one of the highest average ratings fielded, but even that team wasn't able to produce a victory. When the carnage was over, two teams threw 4-0 shutouts, while the other two matches were tied 2-2. Let's get started. In the first matchup of the week, the St. Louis Archbishops completely erased the bad start they had to their season with a 4-0 shellacking of the Baltimore Kingfishers. Afterward, GM Ben Feingold called it one of the best games he's ever played. He prepared for a King's Indian defense and was surprised when he faced the Nimzo. He decided on an obscure line, then played the maneuver 10 Knight G5 to prompt a dark square hole, then produced a paralyzing Queen and Bishop battery, which led to the crushing coup de grace, 25 Rook takes F6. GM Huschenbeth resigned rather than face Rook takes F6, Queen G5 check on the board. With St. Louis already leading 3-0, GM Larry Kaufman tried a desperate breakthrough to try to get his team on the board, but after 100 moves, even he had to resign, making the final score 4-0 to the Archbishops. The Miami Sharks are coming off a disappointing 2011 campaign. They looked to continue their fast start, but they were blitzed by Boston in another 4-0 rout. In a battle of two of the most accomplished players in league history, Senior Master Jorge Samor Hasbun defeated GM Julio Becerra on board 1. On the next board, FM Kazim Gulamali produced a nice finish to a dominating game against Senior Master Robert Perez. 43 Knight D2 check forces a series of geometric checks, eventually leading to the White King getting mated on the side of the board. In the third match, the Connecticut Dreadnoughts, who roster the highest rated player in the league, GM Robert Hess, came into the week with an average rating well north of 2,500. Altogether, they had more than 800 points of a rating advantage over the perennial underdog Carolina Cobras. But for the second week in a row, the Cobras were able to hold a much higher rated opponent to a drawn match. In Week 1, IM Jonathan Shore was the hero, beating a GM with black. In Week 2, FM Casa Corley turned the same trick, winning as black against GM Mikhail Kekalidze on board 2. There was play on both flanks, with Corley attacking down the H-file and Kekalidze chasing Corley's king to E5, where it was strangely immune to further checks. After that, Corley broke through with 40 Rook H1 check. The rook can't be captured because of Queen F2 check and then Queen D2 mate. Kekalidze left the rook alone, so Corley instead pinned the queen, won the game, and the match ended up tied 2-2. In our final matchup of the week, New England and Dallas also tied 2-2. In what would be a recurring theme from this week, IM Pooch and Wang, like Corley and Feingold before him, used the dark squared bishop as the key piece in his attack. David Vigorito feared 46 Queen F6, with ideas such as Rook takes F7 check, Bishop takes F7, Queen takes F7 check, King H6, and then Bishop E3 check. So the IM playing black had to clear out a few pawns to get the queens off, but a few moves later, Wang proved he didn't need his queen to trap the king. Vigorito resigned in view of 52 Rook takes G3 check, Rook takes F5 check, winning a piece. So as we saw, board 2 was the key board in the second part of Week 2. So far in the early season, there's been extreme parity. No team has been able to start 2-0, while no team has suffered an 0-2 start either. In addition, only 15 of the 64 games have ended in draws, meaning more than 3 out of every 4 contests have produced a winner. Check back next week to see Week 3 highlights. We'd like to thank our sponsors, PokerStars, the ICC, and Chess.com.